Welcome back, everybody, to session 3 of The Crown of Autumn. We're going to pick up this next scene quite literally seconds after the previous session. You've had a good night's rest. You've been requisitioned by a couple of the members of the coalition nobility to prepare yourselves for what seems to be a very, very long range scouting and or intelligence mission. Thraban, the sorcerer, has been informed of the many of the gaps have been filled in of the greater conspiracy regarding this dark sorcerer named Endukaga. That he initially was involved in attempting to uncover, but unfortunately lost his life in the line of duty. Now, a sorcerer brought back from the dead by unknown and mysterious forces. Now that is heavy on his conscience to find out the identity of these unknown forces. The enchantment, the curse, henge, as we'll call it, was periodically looked in on to see if any activity would come of it, and it's largely been left alone and seemingly forgotten by the enemy. More than likely, as if we know anything of this sorcerer named Endukaga, he does not forget a damn thing. Now, we will have ourselves a brief flashback as you guys are rousing yourselves from your previous evening. Gunnar, you have the taste of we'll say the taste of the Fey woman's lips still upon yours, and a faintness of her rather enveloping perfume like teasing your nostrils there as you remember the evening previously. Give us a brief soliloquy of what transpired and what was spoken of.
And narrator, can you remind me of her name? I don't know if we had it.
Oh my gosh, the lady in question. To quote Aristotle Quantz of the James Clavell novel, Taipan, nudes as well as in fornication, we never speak the woman's name. But I know I wrote down the woman's name, and now I can't fucking find it. Where the hell is she? Come on, girl, where are you at?
In bed, probably still, sleeping it off.
Oh, she's probably still sleeping in her own tent. Oh,
the
quartermaster.
Roll back in her head.
Yeah, right. What did you do to that girl, Gunnar? Jesus. I gave her what for, let me tell you. Aranara, that's her name. Let me put it in the fucking chat here. Aranara. Aranara. That's her name. Damn it, we broke the Quantz rule. Never speak the woman's name. Quantz will forgive us because she was cute. How can you be thinking of a doxy's tale when you're in the presence of perfection?
So, as we recall from last episode, Gunnar and went out seeking the quartermaster woman, Fey woman who is Aaronara, and decided since we were going to be heading out the next day, if you would talk to her about hooking up. And he, I believe we made a lure rule, and she was charmed enough that yeah, they went back consensually and spent the night together in carnal knowledge. So
Excellent.
Gunnar, uh, you know, sits back, relaxing, just kind of enjoying the afterglow of the evening, and very happy with the encounter. And she proved to be, a fantastic person and a fantastic lover. And so, just sitting back and enjoying it. Um, at one point, Gunnar turns to her and says, "Are you really over 900 cycles old?"
And she lays there with you amongst the furs and quilts to keep the autumn breeze at bay. She looks at you. She goes, 934 to be exact.
And you count your cycles the same way we do?
She has kind of this wistful look at her, and I said, well, time passes for we Fae somewhat slower. But we do count them. But after you become of age, there it's a number. You are Fae are always youthful and beautiful forever. My people, the Dawn Fair folk, are uh, effectively ageless, but not immortal. We can be laid low by disease or starvation or the elements. But somewhere around our 10,000th cycle, there's this strange gravity. She's this 1,000-yard stare now. This strange gravity of the woodlands, because we are at our core a tree spirit, tree entities. We have a certain kinship with trees and the wilderness, not unlike dryads, but different. If you want more information on the lore regarding dryads, speak to Arborean women. They can tell you quite a bit. But for us, we can live forever. But if left alone, this strange gravity will pull our grandparents and our great-grandparents away to the woodland, and they are not seen from again. And you kind of get this when she says that she's not, pretty obviously, she's not telling you the entire story. There's something there that you may or may not be an appropriate thing to ask her, but there's some lore there that she is not, in fact, sharing. But you do get this windy explanation of her that seems ages old. To borrow a line from Beauty and the Beast, a tale as old as time, so to speak. And you she launches into a description of her first spring as an almost an infant, a failing, so to speak, and she describes essentially the march of time to which seems like almost infinitesimal when as it comes from her. Her point of view, she is still extremely young. She's not even 1,000 cycles old yet. And she tells stories of people who are over 10,000 who have been here since the time before mortals, but before humans came along. And she is more than willing to describe for you those times. And she concludes by saying, I am what you would effectively in relationship to human reckoning of time, I may be around my 17th or 18th birthday.
Is this offensive that I ask you about these things?
Age is literally nothing to Faye. I understand that human women don't like to be asked about their age, but we don't care.
Hmm. And you do you have memories from when you were born, created? I mean, does it start from year one for you, your memories?
There is a nebulous childhood there. I remember being a little girl of perhaps 40, but Fae tend to have long, long childhoods. Decades upon decades of mischief, just mischief. And evading your parents when they try to beat you, or beat it out of you, or beat sense into you. She laughs at that.
And you have to do that for decades.
Yes. You could say Fae children are very slow learners and require multiple beatings. If your parents are, of course, into corporal punishment, that sort of thing. One story I will tell you is when my sister and I, my elder sister and I, were playing in the flower field near our ancestral home. And our elder brother was babysitting us. He was some centuries older than us and responsible enough. The air quotes when she says responsible are implied. She doesn't actually do the air quotes. When he was supposed to be responsible enough to watch over us and make sure that we were safe, but there was a war horn was sounded, and he did not answer the war horn. And in our culture, when a horn is blown and an alarm is raised, you answer, you come to the place. Our elder brother did not. He did not come. When summoned, he left us in the ditch and went elsewhere. And when our father found out that he did not come when summoned, he and our uncle gave him a sound thrashing. It is a cultural thing that is beaten into and or ingrained in us from our youth, our young cycles, that when an alarm is sounded, everyone comes. If you are if you are strong enough to hold arms, take up arms, you come when you are summoned. And that is for the entire house, the entire tribe, the entire village. And sometimes people are banished if they do not come when summoned. It is seen as a cowardice, a cowardice to not come when summoned.
I could appreciate that.
It is it's a holdover from ancient days when we were a young people being nurtured by Awarthios, the stag god in the woodlands. When an alarm is sounded, everyone fights. Obviously, the children who are unable to fight are sequestered away to a safe place, and everyone defends the village and the home.
That makes complete sense to me.
She smiles at that, and she's like, "Well, glad you think so. It's worked for us for tens of thousands of cycles."
Can
In
I ask
this
you about
way,
oh, go ahead.
no. She says, in this way, every uh, man, woman, and youth, as per their vocation and their craft, they also serve as militia in time of need.
That also is very understandable and honorable.
But what were you going to ask?
I heard a story today earlier, and being of your age, I want to ask you if it's true and what it means. If that's okay with you.
Ask away.
What exactly are the seasons like?
A season, say winter, for example, is quite long in the reckoning of at least mortals. These are cold periods of 7 to 9 cycles long. And with the 4 other seasons are mirrored such. Sometimes weather will have slight variation, but it's long in that regard. A cycle is 450 days.
So a season is not just a made up story.
No. This autumn has gone on for far too long. We have to date 162 cycles, and this next month of autumn, and when we should have gone through all seasonal rotation, some several times over by now.
This is the way it's been since I can remember, since my father can remember, and since his father could remember.
It is normally not like that, I promise you. Spring and summer are quite beautiful. Flowers are numerous, and the rain is pleasant. Winter can be unpleasant and frigid, but it is part of the world going to sleep and the winter spirits coming back to do their business of the passage of time.
What will it take to be a season again?
I do not know. There is some very powerful magic in the world that is keeping time from moving on. And I am hoping that whoever is responsible for that is seen to, so the balances can be put back to where they should be. The trees are not meant to hold on to their leaves, regardless of their beauty, for so long.
They look like the same leaves I've known.
They're normally supposed to be green, like evergreens, but the leaves are green during spring and summer.
That sounds like a story.
No, it is true. You will see. I hope you see. Perhaps someday.
Well, with that said, I do need to get some sleep, and I should go check on my companion, make sure that he's also going to be well rested. We've got uh, we've got our orders for tomorrow.
Travel safely.
I hope to see you again.
If you return to the encampment and we haven't moved on, more than likely you will be. I have been drafted into service as quartermaster, at least for this encampment, and making sure all of the lads are fed and well maintained is a large responsibility.
Then I hope to see you again.
Oh, that. Perhaps.
All right. Good night.
She bids you good evening, and we come back to the next morning as the sun has yet to rise. You find yourself uh, in the stables with Horse. He is, I suppose, as antediluvian horses would be, really happy as a clam being amongst his people. There are several other horses there. And thankfully, they are all peaceful and not coming at each other. Uh, Turban, you are rousing. Did you actually sleep in your pavilion that was actually left there?
Yes, he would have. That's
Okay.
when he got back and he saw it there. He actually would have gotten his sleeping bag and whatnot and his sleeping provisions and would have actually camped out in that pavilion. Yes.
Okay. So you rouse yourself. Uh, you've been given your requisition. There is a steed waiting for you in the stable. You have the option of taking a third horse as a baggage horse, but it's up to you whether you the two of you feel like it. You meet in the stable tent, uh, and it's at this time the camp begins to rouse itself for the day.
So eyeball and he'll wave to Gunnar as they both meet each other. Uh, Unsure of whether or not he heard the commotion. He didn't know how much of a screamer he was, but he assumes Gunnar had a good night. Um, I'm also assuming as a player that Tybon had a good night as well. I'm assuming he wasn't plagued by nightmares or bad dreams or Morpheus fucking with his head at all.
Oh, Morpheus will be fucking with you until you die the real death for the final time.
Yeah, right, right. Um,
Other gods seem to avoid you like the plague, but Morpheus seems to like you just fine.
no, well, that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably not a good thing. Um, no, as he's led over to his horse and stuff, and he'll see Gunnar and he'll wave him over. You think we're going to need a third, or you think we can get by with the two we got?
Mm. Well, having the extra hoof is always nice to have, but I'm hesitant to take any more supplies from the camp that we need to, just because they are still engaging an enemy here. In honor of service, I say we just go with the two.
Okay, we can do that. I think we can manage. Uh, Tybon, he'll put a hand on the on his horse, kind of get a gauge of its temperament, uh, its attitude and whatnot toward him being a new rider and everything. He knows some horses, trained or not, can still be skittish against a new rider. So he would work to try to ease that connection, so to speak, before he would mount if allowed.
If you want to make a husbandry test here, you're more than welcome to.
All right, give me a second.
The horse, known as Torbrand, was the second steed, not actually second steed used by King Orncath recently. He was not the steed that he was unhorsed from on the day that he died, but the king actually brought with him from the woodland 4 horses, 2 of which were slain. The one that he was unhorsed from was captured by the Atlanteans, and Torbrand is the last one. He is a well-trained charger with the antediluvian stripes on the legs. He has seemingly a long, almost like boar bristle-like mane that kind of stands on end. I mean, what? Before I continue, what was your husbandry test?
17.
Okay. He doesn't shy away from you. He lets you touch him, but he doesn't seem like he's too terribly phased. He is a mundane steed, kind of brought up around Fae, so he knows what they smell like. He has, I believe, I gave you guys, at least I gave Torbrand, I think it's mammoth hide barding. So, he comes with armor. Horse does not. But go back and copy that into my own notes.
Yeah. And we have the horse blankets and whatnot, so.
Yeah, you guys don't have saddles, but you have horse blankets.
Yeah. After doing that, Thybron, he'll mount up. He'll probably actually, if he's waiting on Gunnar, he'll probably actually just take Torbrand on like a slow loop around, like the stable. Just the whole getting acquainted thing, learn his behavior. Torbrand gets used to his weight, stuff like that.
So, when I put in the provisions key, you guys understand what the food categories are? You guys have a +4 bonus save to traveling tests.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got it.
Sorry, Tara, what was that?
Nope, got it.
Okay, cool. That is where your your bonus comes from. If you have at least 2 food groups, you get a +2. If you got 3, you're 4. That being said, the floor is yours, gentlemen. This just became a semi-open world adventure. You have an objective. You have several places that you can go to. The order in which you wish to go to them for this chapter is really up to you. So I'm basically going to let you guys take care of that aspect. You tell me what you guys want to do.
Gunnar will just prepare horse, make sure everything is secure and strapped down, and just try to get provisions ready. Kind of watching out for Thybran's coming back with the horse and getting his comfort level in. But Gunnar's just waiting to go.
Anyone else you have to say goodbye to before we leave? You have to report back to the king one last time.
My only orders are to accompany and complement whatever mission you were given.
All right. To the swamp we go.
You're choosing the swamp first, huh? All righty.
Well, we gotta take down that henge first. Oh no, wait,
Hey,
hold
man.
on. No, on the way we have to see if we can find the astromancer. That's right.
Hey, I'm not here. Like I said, you can choose what order you want to do this in.
Well, actually, let me ask this. Would I remember? Okay, the last place that we went through and saw him is that between here and the henge.
It is not on the way, no. You you are closer to the coast than you are to the woodlands. Where you're from, actually, your home.
Mm. Damn it.
But if you wish to backtrack, then backtrack you shall go. It's up to you.
And remind me, where's the Pike Lord located at? If he is where he is supposed to be, I should say.
Yeah, right. That's the opportunity. Yeah, no. Thank you. That's the interesting thing about Unseelie courts and their alleged elemental alignment. It could be anywhere. A fairy gate is probably more likely to be around a river, but that's I would not say your character would be terribly an expert on such a thing. You have an inkling, but
I'm also trying to remember what he remembered from the last time.
The place where you guys visited him was in the swamp. It's actually one of those swamps, the marshlands just north of Hawthorne, actually.
Mm.
But Shihan also met him on the banks of the Tarandine, this river that you guys are actually on. So, nice big Unseelie fairy shrug.
Okay, yeah, so I think we'll follow. I'm trying to remember in my head the map. I think we'll follow up the river toward the swamp. And if we happen to get either a gate to the Pike Lord or an invite from the Astromancer, we'll take the detour. That henge has to get taken care of, though.
Right.
So that's what we're going to do. So We're gonna head toward the swamp, but we're gonna follow the river and see if we can make a sidetrack along the way. Sound good, Gunnar?
Uh, don't, uh, don't mention anything out loud to me until we, get out of camp, just in case. I will just follow your lead and we can talk once we get out of earshot of everyone.
All right, that's what we're gonna do then.
Okay. Uh,
Provisions all loaded up and whatnot, so.
no, the horses take to the extra weight of provisions. They don't sweat that. It does not bother them at all. Uh, Additional loot, however, that might start to be a little much. It's only 2 horses after all. But
We'll burn that bridge when we cross it. It's fine.
right. But no. Back out on to call it a road is a little bit of a stretch. It's a formally it is a road. Informally, it is a mammoth track that's been tramped down by many a mammoth herd that has used this route going to and from the river and out to the grasslands. But following the river, how do you guys wish to proceed?
I want to wait until I know that we're out of basically occupied space.
Oh yeah.
And that we passed the last of the sentries and guard posts and we're well on our way.
Okay.
And then I want to turn thoughtfully to him and say, now can you explain to me what exactly it is we're doing?
Yeah, Gunnar, I can explain.
Gonna have a nice long scene of you guys riding your horses through the countryside as Nirvan is explaining all of the shit that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away.
Right. So you heard a little bit when I was talking to the king and the queen and whatnot. The red-skinned people, they're called primordials. You don't want to burn the bodies. You don't want to inhale if you do burn the bodies because that shit will kill you in seconds. They have the horns. I never did figure out if they're born with the horns on their head or if that's like an implant thing. As he said this, he'll actually kind of touch like where his horns were. I don't know, but they have horns on their head and they're red skinned. And Endukaga is a sorcerer of his people, might even be the leader of his people. I do not know that far. Somehow they lost their way home. They are trying to find their way back home. Because of this, because of whatever thing he saw to drive him toward this, he is basically sowing a path of mayhem and destruction to get what he wants. Because he believes he has to do something to keep his people safe, which I can respect. But if we as a people die off because of it, he doesn't care. The reason we are fighting the Atlanteans, and he will point to wherever the closest ships were, even if they're not, within sight anymore. We are
You
fighting
just
them.
point across the river.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. We're following the river. My bad. We are fighting them because he has convinced them that we have taken their deity that lets them get home. So hence why it's a big cluster of deception and intrigue, and everyone's fucking over everyone. Because if you bring it down, we actually don't have any need to fight them at all.
We're
Well,
defending ourselves.
we are, because they came over under false assumptions, and they're killing us because they think we have an answer that we don't possess.
That we took their god captive.
Yes. He has convinced the Atlanteans that we have their god, and because we have their god, they cannot get home. And he did
Is
that. Go ahead.
is their god like a man or a woman, or what type of god?
Now,
He
correct
doesn't
me.
actually know that part.
I was gonna say,
That
correct
would
me if
be
I'm wrong.
player knowledge.
Okay, I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he was actually aware of that. I don't know. If I had to wager a guess, something elementally basic can allow them to get home. Being what they are, I'm assuming a water something. I don't know.
I will put out there though. I'm going to lend an olive branch to the party and some of the audience as well here. Is at this point in the conversation, and Gunnar, you're learning all these things about how time is in stasis and how the seasons are actually a thing, and you don't live in just a perpetual autumn world. And as Thurban is explaining all of this, uh, you piece together that the Atlanteans, or sometimes referred to informally as the Sea People, uh, the the north wind doesn't exist anymore. Like, wind will blow south, east, and west, but will never come down from the north. And it has not blown from the direction of the north since you were born. And I'm just gonna,
Okay.
as this conversation is kind of going, and he just describes something elemental, whatever, and you kind of like, oh, well, the wind only blows in 3 certain directions nowadays. I'm gonna go back on mute now and let this conversation continue.
Right. So something that lets them get there. I don't know if this entity is still alive. I don't know. I don't know. That's one of the things that I don't know. Actually, there's a lot of things I don't know. That's just one of them. Back to Endukaga and the primordials. He is going around collecting items of power by whatever means he needs to, because he believes that is what is going to allow his event to take place. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I am assuming it is either a transportation method or literally just going to allow him to take a group of his people from one place to another. I don't know. The lieutenant that we spoke to was kind of cryptic about it. And of course, talking to him himself has only happened, I believe, twice, and neither one really had much talking to it. But it had a lot of death, unfortunately.
So you've spoken to the man who is orchestrating all this?
Yes. Actually, the henge that we are going to in the swamp is where I first met this man, if you can call him a man. But yes, no. I actually have seen him face to face. I had no idea who he was when I first saw him face to face. But if I knew what I knew back then, I don't know what would have happened by now. I possibly could have ended this whole thing right then and there. I could have been the one with flames in my face, unlike my compatriot. I don't know. But
By the gods.
oh yes, he literally held out his hand, he blew and fire erupted from his hand.
Hmm.
Shut up,
Well,
narrator.
let's hope he can bleed. If he bleeds, then we can kill him.
That's the hope. But, and I'm sure this is going to be a question plaguing your mind again. The reason the seasons have stopped is because, as you heard, he quite literally killed the King of Autumn. And he took the crown. That is why this, and he will grand gesture to all of the autumnness that we are still dealing with, has not moved on. So I really wonder who they're going to have move into it. I don't know. But so we have to go to the henge because, like I said, the henge was a ritual that's part of a bigger ritual that's powering wherever he wants to do. If we get rid of this henge, I doubt it's going to stop him, but hopefully it stalls him. And if the king and the queen, not saying that they're not true to their word, but they're actually doing as they say they are, continue to keep eyes on this thing after the fact. If he does come back, hopefully we can squash it if it comes back up again. Oh, one thing I forgot to say though when we were talking to them, when we get there, watch out for the lesson.
The, the what?
The lesson. It is a fae that we dealt with in the swamp. Luckily, we were able to avoid violence with it. I think because at the time, narrators at the time it had the babies.
You're getting two different campaigns mixed
That's
up.
what I thought. Okay, that's why I wasn't going to go there.
I haven't dared throw a lesson at you guys in this story arc.
No, I thought we saw a lesson up there.
No? That was in Shapes in the Dark.
I could where we saw one, we just didn't have to deal with it.
No. No,
Okay.
that was in Shapes in the Dark. The Leshen father
Mm-hmm.
had the one with the Leshen babies because the Leshen mother was killed off by the monster hunter. Remember now?
I remember that part. I thought that was okay.
No,
Redact,
that was in Shapes in the Dark. Different story.
redact the last couple
That
seconds.
hasn't happened yet. Thousands of cycles into the future. That
He was just reborn for the third time. Okay, his brain scrambled. It's fine.
He saw many things in the cosmos that may or may not happen in the future. Hand wave timey-wimey Doctor Who bullshit.
Okay, ignore the lesson shit then. My apologies.
That's right. I'm gonna fucking throw a lesson at you guys now. God damn.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
put my
God,
nails in.
God damn it. No.
Hail Mike for a fourth time with a lesson.
And watch me still come back for some reason.
That's right.
Because god damn it.
As you are.
No, and then yeah, so we gotta go destroy the henge. And then we have to see if we can find the other four spots, which is why I asked them, has any more big items of power been taken? The tomb that you found me in actually had a sword that belonged to a hero that was considered an item of power. That's why we were going there to try to either get it or at least defend it. And apparently we didn't.
But we never looked for the sword. Could it still be there?
I it could.
Would you like me to fill in that gap for you? Because Silmanos was dead at the time.
Right. No, go ahead.
But Beryl died after that fight.
Hmm.
uh Recap from a lingering sickness. Gunnar was sent after the scouts that were sent after those primordials, those tomb raiders. And they went into the tomb of Ghost Owl, which is a crypt of an ancient sorcerer that was rumored to have some magical arms or magical items within those crypts belonging to entities from a previous era, a previous age. And the scouts that were sent after found those tomb raiders, which a fight in the crypt ensued, which slew two members of the party, and they, as in the tomb raiders, were able to recover the sword and escape, and the scouts that you were sent after actually died of their wounds in the forest above the crypt. At the time, Thriben, in its previous life known as Silmanos, was actually already dead and gone long before this actually happened. So, the lieutenant that he referenced before was actually one of the primordial officers that recovered the sword, and they were actually able to escape. Now I'm going to go mute again and let you guys take care of the rest.
So to answer that question, yes, we could go back and check. However, I get the feeling that they probably got away with it. Especially if my friends were dead, they probably got away with it.
Is there anything that I need to know about fighting and killing these primordials?
Do it from a distance. Don't let their blood touch you. And like I said, don't use fire. The smoke that comes off their bodies is caustic to everything.
Including other primordials?
That I don't know. I don't know. Because a couple of times that we have fought them, it's only been ones and twos.
Are they of the same strength as men, or
I'd wager more. I also know they are very skilled, as it usually took more than one of us to take down one of them. Now, whether that is battle prowess itself or simply the fact that they are decked out in better equipment than we do, because I'm sure on the bodies you saw that weird material that they work with.
is that common? That black metal?
Pretty sure all the ones I dealt with had it. But, like I said, we also haven't dealt with very many of them. They were trying to be they didn't want to be found. So whenever we found one, they were actually quite surprised by being found. The Atlanteans were supposed to be the distraction, supposed to be the main threat while they worked in the shadows.
Hmm. I would like to see one of those black metal swords up close and intact.
Well, if we stumble upon one, maybe you'll find out.
And this hinge we need to destroy it.
Yes.
Does that
Whether,
mean go ahead?
well, I was gonna say whether I tried to once when we were first there, but I didn't really know what I was dealing with. Um, this could be, and unfortunately with the henge, it would quite literally take half the army to topple it over. So pretty sure I have to do this through magical means and effectively overpower what is currently there and either destroy it or subvert it to my whim. Which I mean, honestly, if I could just subvert it to my whim, eh, actually, I don't know what I could do with that. We'll have to find out if I can make that happen.
And I will guard you while you do this.
Well, let's hope it's been left alone, like they said. Did you have any other questions?
This winter sounds awful.
Winter winter has its perks. Winter has its beauty. But if you are not prepared, winter will drop you dead.
Hmm.
If you are not prepared, you will die in horrible, agonizing ways with no one to help you. But if you know what you're doing, if you can protect yourself well enough, it is a beauty and a sight to behold. When we fix this, and when winter comes again, oh, by the silent monolith, I hope it comes again soon. I will have to show you your first snowfall. Think of rain, but it comes down gentle and it's white.
Hmm.
I know, you can't picture it, can you?
White rain. Sounds like a story still.
Yeah, well,
I hope that the kings and queens and leaders who are planning this, if they thought that seasons passing normally, that people would prepare for this winter, I hope we still get some warning. Um, I can't imagine this desolation without people being prepared for it.
I don't know. Usually, in times gone, times bygone, and when everything was right with this world, it was a gradual, it was gradual. The leaves would actually fall, you know, they wouldn't just be stuck on there for days and chains and cycles. They would fall, the trees would become barren, the animals would go to sleep, and you would know when it was coming because it would get colder more often, more days in a row. And like I said, then it would start to snow. With how long it's been held back, I don't know. This could get fixed. And because it's been held back for so long, we could hit what would be known as a snap freeze. Remember that thing you walked in on that I was surrounded by? That. Depending on how they all want to be, we could launch into one of those. because it's been held back for so long. I don't know.
And it makes the water hard.
It does. When it gets too cold, water gets hard.
And what crops do you harvest during winter?
Not many. That's usually why summer and autumn are so crucial, so that you could plant and harvest, and in the winter you store. Narrator, did they do the thing where they put stuff in barrels and throw it into the rivers when it's winter?
In some places, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, very little grows during winter. It's too cold. It's too barren. When everything's covered in snow, you can't get sunlight to it. It can't grow.
Hmm.
Hopefully you get to see it though, Gunnar.
Yeah, well, let's do what we need to. We have our orders. That's what we live and die by.
Right? I'm assuming the rest of the time, unless you have another question, they'll probably patch it into little gaps or just idle talk. What time do we have right now, narrator?
You guys set out actually a couple hours after dawn, so you have the entire day ahead of you.
Probably around midday, a little bit after the sun kind of hits its peak. He would want to settle down for lunch. Just because, well, one, yes, they're on a timetable, but they're not at a galloping timetable yet. And two, he needs to see if he can find something suitable for a possible ferry gate or just egress into seeing the Pike Lord or the Astromancer.
Are you suggesting we set up camp for the night, or just you want to make a
No,
stop?
just stop, eat, stretch our legs for a minute. You know, we've been riding, a good 5-6 hours probably at this point.
If there's no urgency, I'm by all means willing to stop and
Like I said, we have urgency, but
It's
taking
not
5 minutes
pressing.
taking 5-10 minutes to stop and eat isn't going to kill it one way or the other yet. We're not, you have 48 hours to get from point A to point B in the timeline yet.
Ha ha yet. You just wait.
Right? So yeah,
I need a cross-country sprint out of the party. I need you guys to be in the next country in 72 hours.
yeah. Good thing we got that
Avoid the
+4 to
scouts.
a traveling check.
yeah.
Right. Right. No, you guys, as the conversation lapses, you guys are accompanied, well, kind of left to the devices of your own thoughts, and you pass by along this country animal path roadway. It becomes more a road here with wagon trenches worked into it as you pass a wheat field. Actually rather lush looking, despite the season, tall wheat field with a scarecrow off in the middle of the field, and Arklanar's scarecrows. Thurbon will actually remember this shit. The scarecrow demon. Um, it's a demon. Excuse me, a scarecrow. As a scarecrow is on Earth, is a person, quote unquote a person stuffed with straw and formed out of clothes and such like, to scare off crows and other vermin and anyone or anything else that would prey upon the crops. The Nemersians and the Ithnakai, in their superstitious and somewhat diabolic beliefs of the spirit world, have taken to totem spirit worship and keeping, and calling up reaper spirits to inhabit a mannequin of various materials. This one in particular is being held up by a few sticks and a log, that is wearing a sun-faded military tunic that was once a very nice, vibrant green, which is now is kind of like this sickly, pale green with dirt and or rain spots on it. For a head, it looks like it has a cat or a wolf skull, some kind of predatory thing for a head. It has some aspects of bone in and of itself. It's mostly straw and stitched together jute to make currently just a standing there mannequin, very rustic and very grim looking. And as you guys are just going by, this thing just kind of like lulls its face in your guys' direction. Very fucking uncanny valley if you're not used to it. And you see some kids playing out in somebody's backyard, and this corpse thing is just like looks at you guys with its like, I'm gonna say it's got like a smilodon, like a saber-toothed cat head with one saber missing, and its mouth is hanging open, like only from like one jaw off, like you're only gonna be drinking smoothies for the rest of your life, kind of jaw injury type of thing. And it like shambles a few steps in one direction and shambles a few steps in another direction, and like some crows walk off, excuse me, just fly off because they get spooked by the thing in the field. There you go. I'm gonna write a Cthulhuid horror short story, The Thing in the Field. There you go. I'll write that down here. But anyway,
Like
but no,
fucking millions.
it's there, but and you know, it's just going by. It's maybe like 40 feet off the path there. You guys have a good look at this thing.
And this isn't anything that Gunnar would have ever come across before. This isn't like,
You've probably never seen one up close, but you know what a scarecrow and a reaper looks like, or you know what they are, what purpose they're summoned for. But I'll say your village probably didn't have a wheat field or a crop field. That you guys are probably a hunting and or logging village. You didn't have like the land for agriculture. So this probably one of your first encounters and actually seeing one. You hear stories like, oh, the neighbor villages have these sorts of things and these spirits that scare animals away from the crops and eat vermin scarily. And they haunt barns and such like, but somehow are seen as protector spirits, even if they're unsettling as fuck to look upon.
this seems unholy to me, and I take a wild a wider berth around.
But no, Thurbon, if you would like to weigh in on this sort of thing, you're more than able to. I'm not going to make you roll for it, but no, your occult and your occult knowledge would identify that it is in fact actually a demon. That's the demonology circle of magic.
Mhm. No, and being what he does for vocation, he's probably seen these guys plenty of times.
Esoteric knowledge. That's the skill I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he'll give it a berth just because he knows what they're capable of. But especially upon seeing Gunnar, he's just it's he's going to give like that light chuckle, not making fun of you, but it's kind of just like one of those first time, huh? And kind of just like give you a tap on the arm to like get your like focus away from it, because you don't really want to focus on these things, because then they're going to start thinking thoughts you don't want them thinking. So like Thrival, and he'll kind of like he'll look at it like when they're going by, he'll give it the slight nod when it like turns its visage toward them. Uh but yeah, he'll just keep going. Like, all right, you're doing your piece, you're protecting what you're supposed to. Hopefully you're still within the confines of your bindings, and we can leave it at that. Especially seeing the kids playing not too far away.
They're like a dozen feet away from this thing.
Yeah, he's
Like if I could draw a picture of it, they're closer to it than you guys are to it.
yeah. So like seeing that is like, all right, yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to. It's fine. Uh, but yeah, he'll kind of like tap Gunnar on the arm, like, all right, come on, focus on the road. We can talk about once we're out of earshot.
Hey, I need an awareness test from Gunnar, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh.
Let's see if I can fuck with him a little bit. Just to poke fun at Terry a little bit here. I gotta poke fun at somebody once per session.
All right, all right.
Just once, it's okay.
Only once. Look at my tally in.
9.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but you get to see this. One of the little girls, they're like playing tag. There's like 4 little girls and 2 little boys. One of the little girls picks up like she's got like they're like playing like hopscotch or whatever. Hop stones with a couple sticks. It's the Stone Age. We don't care. Their kids are playing games, and she's got a fistful of flowers in one hand, and she's hopping on these stones. And then she gets to the end of like the hopscotch course that they got with the stones and sticks and shit, and a length of rope because they're podunk as fuck. And she gets to the end of the rope, and she runs into the fucking wheat field. Like she beelines in there, and your heart is like leaps into your fucking chest, like, oh God, girl, no. And she gets to like where like this scarecrow is like being held up by like its stand. It's got like this, it's not a cross or not a stake or anything. It's like a tree that's got like a Y, and it just hangs itself on there. As she like comes out of the wheat there, and you from as you guys are coming around, she comes out, and you guys get the line of sight on this, and the both of you'll see this. But Gunnar, you're closer, and you are the one who actually sees the copper bowl at on a rock at the foot of this Y-shaped tree stand that's got, and she actually like runs past the scarecrow, and this thing just fucking watches her do it. Like you're like, this baby is gonna get eaten by this thing, and it's just like, and she throws this fistful of flowers into the little offering bowl there, and she's got like a daisy, a clover, a couple other flowers in there, and she like hops, like like the way little kids, she hops and like flounces around a little bit and stands in front of this scarecrow and like curtsies and then almost falls the fuck over and then runs back into the wheat field. And this thing just fucking watches her go. And it shambles up one lane of the wheat field and it shambles the fuck way back. And you're sitting there, that image will be burnt into Gunnar's head for the rest of his days.
Never in my village.
And not my children, god damn it. Yeah, no, but now you can you maybe down the road for an hour or so as you pass this this farming village. How do you wish to continue?
Now Gunnar is just on pivot mode for looking out for any
More
of these other.
scarecrows.
Yeah, he's got a cult of 6, so this will isn't sitting well. Children being around this monstrosity.
Nah, no, ma'am, no, thank you. Nah, nah, nah. Uh,
What's
but
even worse? What's even worse is when the kids help gather the pieces.
Mm, not in my village.
Gotta do what you gotta do. As long as he stayed within his confines, everyone's gonna be safe.
And she ran right up to him too. That was like she can reach out and touch him.
Mm-hmm.
But that was some fucked up shit.
What does it do at night? Does it sleep?
Sleep is a complicated word, okay? Just deal with them during the day. Let me just put it that way. Don't wander in with an offering and don't deal with them when it's not light out. Ty Bond's probably seen what they do at night. He doesn't want to recollect that memory. Oh yeah, he will kind of chuckle though watching Gennard have his head on a swivel for a couple hours though.
Is it safe to assume you've lost your appetite?
Oh, indeed. Still kind of in that fight or flight mode of this thing. Like, this isn't natural. I don't understand it. Is this something that would come after us? No, it's like, are there more of them? How common is this? Yeah.
Oh, you've passed by about 3 other fields. There's normally one in each field.
Mm.
he's like, do they communicate with each other? Are they going to start looking at us?
Oh, when you guys pass, they all look at you. Like
Mhm.
each one like looks at you too. Like
Uh-huh.
the way and this will really fuck with you uncannily is it assesses if you're a threat to the crops or not. Like you get that telepathic like predatory like you gonna come in here? Come in here and touch this wheat. I dare you. No man, be cool. Be cool. We'll stay on the road. This is our road. That's your field. And no,
God,
there's
can
normally there's normally
wow.
a scarecrow in each field, and you guys
I'm a sadistic shithead sometimes.
you well we'll pass the
We,
field. We'll be a few hours on the road, and Mike can be a sadistic bastard if you
No,
like.
because what I'm thinking is the perfect psychological torture. Have a hut in the middle of a group of wheat fields, and that's where they have to stay for however long.
What do you mean? Who has to stay where?
Like if someone fucks up, this is like torture, like prisoner type shit. You
oh,
have a hut
like,
in a clearing, completely surrounded by like 6 to 10 wheat fields, all with scarecrows. You, as the guilty one, have to stay in said hut because you don't know if they're going to get you or not,
hmm.
or if they're going to come pound down the door. Sorry.
That's fucked up.
Uh-huh.
It's fucked up. But no, a few hours down the road, you pass the village. The village is not in eyesight at this point. You guys have not eaten all day, and you probably bed down for the evening and finally have dinner and
We can
try
do
and
that.
sleep.
Is there a scarecrow within eyesight?
Yeah,
Terry asks.
right.
and and not interrupt or step on, intrude or trespass on any wheat fields at all. That's what I got out of this.
Terry's
Leave
got
your
PTSD
neighbor's
about wheat
crops
fields.
alone. No,
how
Terry,
fast? How fast are they? Do they actually move out? And
are you asking me or the sorcerer?
the sorcerer?
Well, Mike, what do you know about him?
don't be a threat to the crops. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Or I assume the family?
If you harm the people, it's more of a gray area because their their influence is the crop. If you do something within the crop vicinity to be labeled a threat, may the deities have mercy on your soul. Outside of that, probably depends on how much control said family had over the scarecrow. I've
Or
only
more
seen,
accurately, may the Reaper King have
yeah,
mercy on your soul.
yeah. Uh, I've only seen it happen a couple of times, and it seems I do not wish to relive.
And they are designated specifically to protect crops.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't any way to manifest these same things to protect an army or a location like a keep or village.
I do not. I have not
Actually,
dabbled. Oh, go ahead.
actually, the castle that you guys held up in during a lingering sickness was actually haunted by a Reaper. That same Reaper actually haunted Shihan for several weeks.
Mm.
So to actually answer Terry's question. And again, I'm not here. Simonos should know all this shit, but Mike doesn't remember. I shouldn't be here saying all this shit. But yes, to answer Terry's question, yeah, no, they absolutely can. It's actually part of the demonology circle of magic. Under summoning, it is the third tier spell, summon lesser demon.
Which, yeah, as I was gonna say, though, I have not dabbled, nor do I wish to dabble in that particular line of knowledge. I have heard stories, though. I know the most common way, though, is what we just seen. It's also, as far as I am aware, and if magic works the way magic is supposed to work, the bigger the area to protect, or the more of them to come protect it, the greater the strain and the greater the control needed. And if you lose the control, well, they quit forgetting who's safe and who's not.
And some sorcerer learns this.
Some of them strive to learn it.
Hmm.
I know the cold and the plants. Some of them strive to know about the dark and the demons. I'd rather not, thank you.
Where's your sense of adventure?
3 lifetimes ago, okay?
Right. Sorry, I'm not here. I'll shut up.
I'm not sure if that is the definition of courageous or stupidity.
It's a fine line. But no, should we set up camp?
Yes, I agree. The horses could use some rest, and frankly, I wouldn't mind a fire after this, as long as it doesn't attract those things.
I think we'll be fine.
Yes, so we'll set up camp.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to worry about wild lore because we have so many provisions. So we'll just cook out of what we have.
Fair enough.
Do you have provisioning there, Gunnar? Terry?
I have wild lore, but no provisioning.
Okay. I have a little bit of both, so I'll probably do the cooking and whatnot. I'm assuming they gave us something for a cooking pot.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
God damn, my dice don't want to cooperate for me tonight. It was probably a good thing.
They're probably fucking scarecrows all over the place. Scarecrows and lessons, oh my.
Right? Let's do soliloquies for the party as you guys are bedding down for the evening.
Go ahead, Gunnar, you got it.
Well, Gunnar will try to busy himself as much as he can with caring for the horses and setting up camp, and do what he needs to do to keep his mind off of scarecrows and reapers. That kind of keeps bubbling back to the forefront of his mind, and he's more than happy to take a first watch. This is just striking more and more strange as the days pass. So he just wants to be very conscious of not acting like a wide-eyed child in the face of some of this new experiences he's having.
All right. Servan.
Thorban, he's I don't know, he's kind of happy to be on the road again. He's just kind of happy to be alive. He is filled with some small trepidation and probably be concerned anxiety about this, about what they're going to set out to do. Mostly for the fact of he's afraid he might not be able to do it. He doesn't have his old friends, you know. He doesn't have his old he doesn't have his grove anymore, or really any support system to come help him with this if he can't do it. But then he thinks back to when he woke up in that tomb, and the voice and everything, and something bringing him back to the land of the living. So something obviously believes in him, even if he doesn't believe in himself all the time. That aside, as he's cooking and he's looking out along the river and stuff, he's trying to figure out how and when, he could try to figure out getting them over to the Fey Realm to meet with a couple of people they need to meet with. That one, he's still kind of boiling along as they go type of deal. Especially because if the stories about the Pike Lord are true, we don't know where he is. He could quite literally be going by at this very moment, and I wouldn't have a clue. So he's cooking, but if Gunnar looks at him, he's cooking, but he's kind of on semi-automatic, as he's just trying to figure out the logistics for their coming days and how they're going to take care of everything.
So Serban goes to sleep, and Gunnar takes the first watch. It is a difficult evening to fall asleep in. So close to the river, there is a chorus of frog song, which is seemingly almost deafening. The sounds of a night, not exactly a forest, but a somewhat sparsely wooded area. There are some scabby trees showing their autumn colors, mostly tall grasses and such, but you find a secluded place to bed down and build your stealth fire that gives off little smoke and only lights up the immediate area. Gunnar has a rather, dare I say, a rather pretty view of the Tarandine near the Great River. It kind of splits the west in two, and as you sit there against your tree, you see a white figure in the water, and you rub your eyes. Hang on just 1 second here. You rub your eyes. No, that figure's still there, and it's a woman. A pale, naked woman with long black hair, like she'd been out swimming at night in a perpetual autumn, naked. In this weather, are you insane? You'd freeze to death. And the headlights are on, I'll tell you that much. High beams and everything. You can't tell from this angle if she's a fairy woman or a mortal woman, but her skin is peach, almost like a pale peach. She's rather quite cold and doesn't get a lot of sunlight. How do you wish to proceed? You're muted, man. Gosh damn it. Yeah.
And what is she doing exactly? Is she like actively swimming, or is
No,
she
she's standing in the water, naked as the day she was born, in like knee-deep water, like down there by the bank.
is she looking at me, or is she looking around, or
She's like standing there stock still. Well, not looking at you, but you can tell she's you're like in her eyesight. You're not looking at you. Her like hair is like matted to her face. Like if her hair is long enough to where she's like she craned it, her hair and it was dry, it would like reach like her butt. Like it's that long.
but instead she has the
She's like, yeah, like she just came out of the water, like the fucking ring. That's what she's got.
yeah.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make any advanced type movements, but I want to watch her for a bit, and then I must have my spear somewhere like by my feet or nearby. I kind of want to see what she does, but then I want to go down and kind of like go for the spear, but not to attack. I want to poke Thyron with the spear. Like, here's another one of your things.
So describe
But
what
I
you're
want
doing. If you're like sitting, like listening on the ground, like leaning against a tree, describe what you're doing.
okay. So I'm keeping an eye on what she's doing, and I'm not making any sound at all. Um, but what I want to do, and I've got a pretty decent stealth score. I want to reach down and grab a hold of the spear, but not necessarily in a threatening way. But I want to use the spear to kind of poke him and get him to wake up.
So make me a stealth test here, Kirkland.
Yes, I will.
Goddamn right. Ah.
Okay.
Fucking right.
So that would be a 10.
Oh. Oh my.
Yeah, I didn't roll very well because with all my bonuses, I've got a +6. So
Okay. So you like describe for him how you do how you do this. You
I'm
tell me.
still watching this thing, and I'm gonna bend down and grab a hold of the spear in a non-threatening, not like an attack way. Grab a hold of the spear so I can look over his sleeping ass and start giving him a couple like hard jabs.
Fuck up.
Look,
Look at this shit. Yeah. So you bend forward and we'll say you like you dislodge something. You don't like step on a twig or anything, but you move and some leaves or some grass rustles. And she like snaps her look at you, like, oh son of a bitch, now she's looking right at me. And like 3 drops of pee come out. And you blink and she is right there. And you're just like you just sit there, fucking paralyzed, looking into her like orange, yellow fucking eyes underneath the fucking hair. And
I'm I'm not
She
blanking anymore.
no, she's right fucking there. And this is the uncanny part. And she grabs your face with her cold as fuck, icy, wet, cold fucking hands. They're like clammy and snake-like they're cold as fuck, and you're like, don't fucking touch me, woman. You're terrifyingly cold. And she kisses you. And it's not a nice kiss. It's uncomfortable and invasive. It's cold. There's like lake in her mouth. Like if you ever you went swimming and you accidentally, like in the river, you go swimming and there's obviously fish and algae and other fucking shit in the river, and that's what she tastes like. And you're like, there's a little bit of algae in this bitch right now. And she sticks her tongue down your throat. And like I said, it ain't nice. And you pass the fuck out. And Thriben wakes up to this going on and then just silent. Gunnar passes out and he wakes up to the most horrifying, blood-curdling scream that makes your gut, you feel it through your guts. It like the sound ripples and you're like bolt up fucking right as Thriben looks over and this Banshee is sucking the lungs out of your companion there. And he's got like shit, like his veins of his face are turning black as it's coming through his fucking mouth. And she's just, whatever she's doing, she's enjoying, but Gunnar is not with us anymore. That is what you wake up to see. And I need a fucking life force test because that is corrupting and horrifyingly fucking nightmarish.
Right. Life force test is a 1d8 or a 2d8?
It's a save. It is a 1d8.
The 1d8. Oh, never mind. Oh, there we go. Nice. It exploded once. Very good.
Okay.
And that's, if I remember correctly, that's spirit modifier plus level, right?
Hang on here.
I think that's what I have written down.
Let's do this here. No, corruption save. Life force is 1d8 plus level.
Oh, just plus level. Okay. That's still a 14.
Well, that's what you needed.
Yay!
Because that is a nightmare difficulty.
Right.
Son of a bit. You look over and it's all you, man. I'm just a narrator. You tell.
It's kind of just like wake up.
That's not a. Oh yeah, that's hot. That's a.
No,
I'm not getting involved with that.
No, I'm doing that as a player because it's like fuck. It's just you're just kind of flabbergasted there for a moment. No, what he would do is he'd hear the scream, bolt upright, see this fucking thing sucking on his friend.
Not
probably
in a fun
just
way at all.
Yeah, right. Like he's not enjoying it like he did the other night. Goddamn. He'd probably actually just be shell shocked here for a moment. I'm assuming esoteric. Would you like an esoteric knowledge so I can see what the fuck this thing is?
Sure, by all means.
I don't know if I
isn't with us to comment.
Yeah, right. Not like he would know anyway. Oh, there we go.
Please
That's a
roll well.
26.
Oh goddamn!
Oh,
It was
It's a
an 8 and a
banshee.
7, and then I
Yeah,
rolled a 5. So yeah,
nice. Yeah, no, that's a banshee,
yeah.
and she is eating whatever negativity that Gunnar is or has on him, in him, or whatever. And you just sit there like the segment going on. She lets go of it, and the sound will haunt you for the rest of this day. She lets go of him, and there's a smack. Like uh, it's just like that. Like it's disgusting. And
like
she
wet
just
seaweed or
drops him
water,
like a fucking rag. He's like,
like wet
and
seaweed on a rock.
you're right.
lollipop.
Uh,
Boom, boom, boom.
you're right. Yeah, no. And she looks at Thriven, and you're like, you just kind of like get this like, no,
Like, all right. So just to interject here,
you
before
do it.
she let go, basically I would look at this bitch, realize what the fuck she is, and my hand is gonna come up, and you're gonna see the frost from because he's about to do some raw magic shit.
Uh-oh.
And so, like, when she lets go, he has his hand up still, and she looks at him, and he looks at her, and then we're not doing that fucking song either. What does she do after she looks at him then? Because
She,
it's fucking
sh
ice forming. Like, we're
yeah,
gonna
right.
fucking go here in a second. It's full of thorns too, because she can go fuck herself.
She shrieks at you. I'm gonna need a self-control test from you. A self-control save.
Self-control save. Oh, I'm good at those.
Also at nightmare difficulty.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. You need an explosion, man. Come on, give me an
Nope.
explosion. What?
I rolled a 7,
God damn it,
which put
man.
me up to 11. Put me up to 13 total.
Well, fuck that. You missed
Yeah.
it by one.
I know. Fucking
She
goddamn
sh
it.
she shrieks and you go to sleep.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, no, and yeah. It's hand, ice, bird, sleep.
God damn it.
And so dawn comes, we hope. No, she didn't fucking kill you guys. You guys wake up. Gunnar has the most uncomfortable, frigid morning wood of his days. And you just reek of lake weed, and you've got like algae on your face. What the fuck's going on here? And Thriben wakes up with a splitting headache.
And I don't have any herbs for that at the moment either. God damn it.
Nope.
They didn't have any good ones at camp.
Nope.
No, he'll wake up and he'll kind of rub his head and wince at the sun coming up.
Daggers in the eyes,
Uh-huh.
retinas seared like tuna steaks.
All right. And then
I had the most horrid dream last night.
what's in the dream?
A beautiful naked woman who was sucking my soul.
Gunnar. That wasn't a dream.
Explain.
And he's gonna look around for a second because just to fucking try to get this headache to blink away, maybe. Where did she come from?
The river.
Oh, fuck.
She walked out of the river.
Mm.
Yeah. You ever heard of a banshee before? The ladies who can scream until your head pops off.
I've heard stories, maybe.
Oh, look, more stories that are becoming reality for you. Look at that. Apparently, she heard you or heard something and zeroed in on you. And I woke up to her quite literally trying to suck you dry and not in the way you'd enjoy.
What would happen?
I'm assuming you turned to a desiccated husk.
But we're both still alive.
I Either she didn't find you as tasty or it was closer to daylight than she thought. I don't know. She knocked me out and then I don't know.
Well, at least I didn't fall asleep at watch.
I'm sorry, I'm not there.
All right. Next
That
time
was
I
my that was my fear, is that I failed as my guard, as a guard. But indeed, it sounds we were attacked. So
no, yeah, she saw fit to attack us. Why she didn't kill us, I don't know. But I suggest you count your blessings to whatever deity you pray to that she didn't. Um, and with that, Thriban's gonna get up and start breaking down camp because he doesn't want to stay in this location no more.
Especially if there's a fucking banshee nearby. Goddamn her. But no. Yeah,
Though it does make him wonder if someone died here then.
maybe a good day or two before I can piss out of this thing.
I'm not helping you with that, dude.
I'm I'm not enjoying your magics.
You're the one that apparently pissed them off. Don't look at me. Once again, wasn't my magic.
This never happened to me before.
Is that what you always tell the ladies?
I agree. Let's vacate this place. Yeah. Maybe next time we set camp a little farther away from the river.
Mm. They tend, well, might help, might not. Depends on what's all going on in this location. Let's just get away from here as soon as we can.
So make a faster haste at striking camp and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you break down camp, of course, and put this place in your rearview mirror for a few hours. And you find yourself in another village that seemingly has their crops under control. In the center of this village, they have a henge, a smaller circle of stones. These people seem a little bit on the the lesser privileged side, as their homes are about a dozen and a half dolmen type stone buildings, and then having furs thrown up over them to create makeshift doorways and such like. There is Thriven would recognize the henge being a country shrine to the silent monolith, and there are a couple shamans doing the duties of shamans and or minor priests of the nature and or earth god. There these crop fields, I call them crop fields, are more akin to wild vegetable gardens, and there may be seems to be about a dozen individual families here. These people are clad in skins and furs, and not so much in the way of woven fabrics like the two of you are. They seem to be pretty out of the main track of things. Very, very small village. How do you guys wish to proceed here?
Well, do you
Thriven
want to? Well, I was
is
gonna say, would you like to be around civilization for a moment, as primitive as it is?
they've got nothing I need.
No, but they have a henge I need to go pray to real quick.
That's fine. I will guard your back.
I know you will. Yeah, so Thriven will go up. Basically he just wants to give basically pray to the silent monolith since they're passing by a shrine to him.
This shrine, I call it a shrine. It's not a proper temple, but as a henge and a country lesser holy place, it's actually quite well appointed. This seems to be a place that the village just kind of like grew up around. As you enter the village, there's a silent reverence here that seems familiar, warm and loving, but slightly distant. The two priests, they do not accost you. They are tending the vegetable garden around the shrine and circles it. And another one is chanting the various sutras in their say their village language. A few kids kind of run through the village, similarly to the last village that you saw. These people are, again, maybe like a dozen families here, so it's like a thorp. Less than 40 people live here.
Right.
If a village like this were attacked, their warriors, maybe 8 to 12 individuals, actual dedicated hunters and or fighting men.
Right.
But no, the quiet reverence of this place seems to stick out to you like a distant, warm, familiar warmth here.
Okay. He's trying to keep a low profile, so he's not really going to speak to anyone unless he absolutely has to. The shamans in the village, he will, of course, give the proper respects to. Even if he himself knows he is potentially of a higher standing They don't know him. They don't, well, he assumes they don't know him. They don't know that. Therefore, it is their village, well, their Thorpe. He's going to give them deference and the respect that they deserve. Um, and they don't accost him. He'll probably just take 10, 15 minutes in silence in front of the shrine, in front of the henge, um, and just giving a prayer to the silent monolith. Basically, for this one is solidarity in their travels, uh, guidance through the earth to their destinations. Um, if he can give him a sign as to where to find his two visitors along the way, that type of stuff. Nothing too fancy, nothing too flowery, just help if he can spare it, and uh, thanks for the help that they have already received.
So, as you're about to leave, one of the priests, uh, you would assume to be the older of the two, uh, you sense there is a will about him. He's a human. Uh, Clearly, he's of a Nemersian tribe that is distantly related to Gunnar. He's not necessarily uh, uneducated in the ways of magic, but he to describe his art would be if yours is like a bonfire, how how bright a bonfire would be. His art would be a candle. There is something there and that's good. With some instruction, you're not saying that you could be a very powerful sorcerer, but there's potential. And he looks up from the his sutras, and he says, "Have you seen the Banshee who resides in the river?"
Unfortunately, we have.
Is seemingly with a preternatural knowledge of what your task might be. He says, she knows the way to the other world.
I was afraid of that. Is that why she didn't kill my friend?
I do not know.
I guess since we opened up this can of worms, do you know why she is here?
He is a guardian of this stretch of the river. There was once a duel that happened upon the banks of this river when two men fought over a woman. And when the one that she favored was killed in the duel, she killed herself.
Yeah, that sounds about right for a banshee. Is the one that killed her lover still around?
I would presume not, but
I'm assuming this was many cycles ago then.
this is almost a few centuries ago. She's been here as long as this village has been here.
Ah,
We came upon the monolith. My great and great grandmother came upon this monolith when she led this village, our people here, and we've lived here ever since. The ground is quite fertile here along the river, and it does not have so much wind, and the flowers grow nicely, and the crops always feed us. There's always plenty of fish in the river.
well, the silent monolith does know how to give those that wish to receive. And if the fish are plentiful, that also speaks well. Do you happen to know where this girl was buried?
We do not.
Okay. He's gonna
She,
he's gonna kind of look back at Gunnar for a moment, and inward he's thinking, Gunnar's really not gonna like this. Sorry, go ahead though.
the priest sorcerer, says, he clarifies by saying, well, the woman killed herself by jumping into the river, so we don't have a body, as
Okay.
the story goes.
Okay. Unfortunately, makes it difficult to find her again, but I'm sure she'll find us. You wouldn't happen to have any herbs for sale, would you? Or for trade? I unfortunately am pretty light in my supplies at the moment.
We can trade. What do you need? Poisons?
No, I actually don't dabble too much into that side. Um, I am running low on materials actually to even just make ointments. So just
Mm.
unfortunately, the last place we were at was running low on resources of that kind. So I have basic supplies like my cauldron and my mortar, but I don't really have much else beyond that.
Well, what do you have to trade for then?
Let me actually pull up. So I guess the better question is, what do you have? What are you in most need of?
Takes a long time to respond. He goes, we seem pretty set. I would be willing to help you out however you can. We'll take whatever surplus. What do you need?
I actually don't have it. Give me just a second here. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna pull up the guidebook. He basically just wants the herbs to make so he can start brewing the bandages and stuff. I can't think of the other word. Because ointment's
They
not the right word.
Salve or
Yeah.
Filters, salves, potions, that sort of thing.
Poultices is what I was looking for. Yeah.
A poultice is not brewed. It's basically a band-aid with mud and moss on it.
Oh, okay. What's the
That's
thing
for
you always have us do like the 24-hour stewing of then? We used
uh
to call that a poultice, I thought.
that's for creating ointments and filters and boiling cloth to make bandages out of. But a poultice is actually just like tea or moss or other herbs that's been processed, stuffed into a wound or put on top of something and then wrapped
Right.
like Stone Age Band-Aid. Uh, but that was actually before I decided to start researching herbalism and primitive medicine.
Right.
Um, but no, he doesn't have really supplies that he can trade you, but he can take down information on a clay tablet to basically to make one, transcribe one, and then bake it would take a day.
No, we unfortunately are on a time crunch. Well, crunch is not the right word. We have to make haste to our destination. Unfortunately, tarrying for even a day is too much.
Then he does not know what he can
Yeah, no,
that we can help
fine.
you with.
Yeah, I would thank him on that, and we can move on. How much of the river does she protect, by the way? Back to the Banshee.
Quite a long stretch.
Okay. Well, since you have been so kind as to give that information, and you guys do seem to be pretty well off, um, I could give you a blessing over the henge to hopefully further promote your good tidings.
We would appreciate that.
And what was your name?
Tanar.
Thank you, Tanar. Um, he he would look around for a moment, almost as if it's like the unseen ears and eyes trying to probe, and then he'll look back at Tanar, and in times long forgotten, they called me Ilmatar.
He nods and says, "So you were the fairy Hierophant then?"
I guess it does get around, doesn't it? Either that or you are more than what you seem.
He shrugs.
I'll go do that blessing, then we'll be on our way.
He gives you a curt bow and he gets out of your way then.
I don't know what you actually want to do for this. I just assumed it was going to be
It's up to you,
a
man. This
but.
is your scene.
Okay. I don't even really know what to do for it. I mean, he'll probably take. Oh, actually, let's see here. Yeah, cool. He'll actually probably take a good hour and uh and I don't really know how to describe it. He'll basically just do votives and prayers to the silent monolith to continue watching over the Thorpe, um, to encourage the harvest, um, to tell tell the silent monolith of the appreciation that Tanara has for him, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because he seems like he actually gives a damn, when a lot of times in backwater places like this, it's sometimes just lip service. Or in a bigger place where it's, yeah, it's a god, it doesn't really do anything for us. This priest actually seems to care, and that means a lot. Um, Especially because Tybon has seen the fakers and the imitators and the ones who don't give a damn. Um, so yeah, he actually will, like, he'll put his will into it. I don't think you actually need me to put any magic point into it, since it's not really a magical thing we're doing here. But if you want me to, I will.
Nah.
Um, but yeah, just hopefully enough to uh, just be helpful in the end. And then if Tanar doesn't need anything else from Thybin, Thybin will look for Ganar again and tell him of the unfortunate thing that they have to deal with now. I don't know where Ganar went either, so that's the other thing.
Gunnar was just staying back, not crowding you, but being within a respectable distance to be able to cover you if anything should go down. Um, I'm just head on a pivot, watching, being careful not to touch my hilt or do anything threatening, but just continuously being aware of the surroundings, letting you do your thing.
Okay. Um, yeah. Thybon, he'll Thybon will look at Tanar again. You don't have a name for her, do you?
You mean the Banshee?
Mm-hmm.
No. No, no, no.
I didn't think so.
No, no.
I
We leave her well enough alone, and she lives our village well enough alone.
right. And Tybon will give another bow. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your information. Hopefully winter comes soon. Not meaning that he hopes the cold comes soon, but just that the seasons start moving again.
Hanar just nods. We're hoping so. Our granary has been full for a while. It's actually been starting to eat very well, so make sure the food doesn't go bad.
Right.
And then filling it back up. And then eating some more. He even says 2 of the ladies actually had 2 children back to back this past 2 cycles, which is a very ancient old world way of saying the girls are eating well, so they're fertile.
Mm-hmm.
He's being a primitive doctor. Yeah, no,
Right.
they had two pregnancies. He's like, oh,
Oh shit. Eating good tonight.
to the not like they're eating the kids or anything, but no, they're It was a common practice that women who ate well could get pregnant easier because the nutrition and
Nutrition.
being able to, yeah, no, so
They weren't
what?
they weren't malnourished and bone thin.
So yeah, the Stone Age person would go, "Oh my God, they're eating so well. There's a lot of babies." Yeah, well, that's how simple that is.
Right.
Primitive medicine.
Gotta love it.
And so now I guess you guys leave the village then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I figure we'll leave the village. Oh,
So what was that all about? What did I miss?
oh, so you remember that banshee that tried sucking the life out of you?
Somewhat, yes.
Apparently she all right. So the scarecrows protect the wheat fields, right? Apparently the banshee protects this stretch of river.
So we
But
stay away from the river.
that's the complicated part. She's potentially also our way to see some of the other people we need to meet.
How?
Banshees work in weird ways. So he says that she keeps track of a pretty long stretch of the river here. So I think we can continue to move on like normal. But we need to sleep a little bit further away from the river, but still enough that I can go to the river at night.
So you mean to talk to her?
I'm going to try to.
Well, we'll do this with careful planning.
Yeah, unless she knocks you out again and starts sucking my soul out this time.
Hmm. What kills a banshee? Are they
See, would he know that one?
I don't think you'd know that one.
No. All I know, well, okay. Stories. We're going to go back to telling stories here.
good
Usually,
stories?
yeah, right. Usually, physical means can't do anything. Banshees are dead. She died, supposedly throwing herself into the river when her lover was killed. I don't know. Maybe she thought you looked like her lover. That's why she didn't kill you off. I don't know. But physical means don't do anything. And I don't know if magic will, but we have to hope that we can somehow get her to stop and talk for a moment. And again, I wonder if you remind her of the one that killed her lover. That might be the other thing. I don't know. It was before the village was founded. They don't have any recollection or descriptions of said people.
Based on how she dealt with me, I'm not sure I care for either.
I mean, at least you're not dead. But yes. Uh, I think it's best that we move on and see if we see her again tonight. As much as you
Well,
don't want to.
uh, I'll do whatever it takes. Yes, if we come up with a plan for resting and then awakening, putting you near the river, then I will stay awake to guard you while you try to speak with her.
All right. I guess here goes nothing, right? Yeah, and I guess with that narrator, we will simply continue to travel.
Mhm. this session has quite a few montages of just walking and traveling and talking. But I'm gonna have you guys narrate to us what your camp looks like. How you guys tell me what you guys do. You guys describe it.
I'm assuming just like yesterday, especially there's more scarecrows for Gunnar to see. We're probably going to eat lunch in the saddle. So we'll probably travel for, the 8 to almost 12 hours like we did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're not like a clip or a gallop or anything. I mean, if it wasn't for the mission, it would look like we were just two people out for a trot, uh, taking in the landscape and the river.
Yes, very scenic.
Right. Watching the damn sea people blow up another ship, probably. I mean, what?
You guys are way away from the coastline. Don't even no.
All right. Well, I didn't know we
Actually,
could
hang
still
on.
see some fighting, so that's why I didn't know.
Actually, hang on a second. No, you guys are actually going towards the coast. You guys are actually traveling south. Never mind. So no, you could possibly
Yeah.
see the coast from here. I don't know. Because
Um.
the henge was near a mangrove swamp. It
Yep.
was
Yep.
in a mangrove swamp, excuse me.
Yeah. It was actually in the swamp. Yeah. So yeah, I'm assuming we'll probably stop camp. I'm assuming right at dusk, Gunnar. That sounds probably right for you. Maybe a
Yeah.
little.
Maybe,
Maybe.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say maybe a little bit early just because we've been going all day, but otherwise probably right around dusk.
And
Okay.
I'd say what we would do is take the horses farther in, I'm going to say inland, away from the river,
Mm-hmm.
and find a secure place for us to kind of set up. But within like enough of a clear travel so that when you want to try this thing tonight, that we can leave our provisions and our horses back and we can make our way to the river if that's what you want to try.
Okay, well, that'll work for me. I'm assuming we'll probably do a stealth fire again like we did last night. This time though, while he cooks and it gets dark, he'll actually have his back to the road, so he can actually watch the river, just to
And
see if he's
I'll watch, yeah, I'll watch the road. You watch the river.
yeah. And unfortunately, it's gonna get quite boring because it's gonna basically become a waiting game after we eat.
Mm.
Because he's just basically waiting to see if she pops up or not. Because of that, he probably will take first watch this time around, though. Just because she did show up during your watch, so that's when he's guessing that might be when she first shows up.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Uh
Now we have two show up at the same time. God damn it.
oh, two banshees. Oh, nice. No. Sometime in the not the middle of the night, sometime that evening, a couple hours or 3, we don't know, after the sun's gone down, an arrow knocks itself into a tree nearby Dibon. So what I'm going to need is who has the higher reflex modifier between the two of you.
I have a 2.
I have a +3.
Okay, so Gunnar, if you want to roll the reaction for the party here.
Remind me here. Is this initiative or
Yes, it is.
so the 1d8 plus reflex plus level?
Yes.
That's an 8.
Nice. Okay.
So in a 2. So 10 plus
Okay.
3 plus 4.
So 17.
17.
Okay. Well, currently you guys are being ambushed. You can choose to either go first or let the enemy come to you. We have not identified the enemy yet. Just Thibin almost got shot in the head with an arrow. Gunnar, what is your action for this round?
I would say that waking up to the sense of danger, and since no real sound has been made, just that reflexive combat sense, and grabbing my spear nearby and staying down to be able to basically be able to assess situation.
Okay. Then you guys are going to hold it for a few moments. Thibin, I need you to make me a defense test. Because it might suck real bad here in a few moments. Suck real bad. There's a lot of suck in this
Right.
session too, and it's not the fun kind of suck either, is it, Gunnar?
17.
7 goddamn teen. God damn it. Oh shit. Oh my god. Okay. And for the last one, fine, be that way. Is shit. Thibin is wearing is okay.
If
F
Ivan was on watch, he's still wearing his armor.
Is he still wearing his armor? Can't make me an armor test. What kind of armor are you wearing again?
Let's see, what did I get? The copper scale mail, greaves, and spear.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, just copper, greaves, and scale mail. I don't know what the fuck I mentioned the spear.
A mail hauberk. Okay. Mail hauberk made of copper.
An
That's
armor test is just 1d8, right?
it's a 1d8, yeah. Explodes once, -1 because of copper.
So that's gonna be a 6.
God damn it. All right, cool.
Do I get anything added because of the armor itself? Because that's not the damage suppressed, is it?
Uh well, your damage suppress blew it out of the water anyway.
Oh, okay.
Uh your armor test held up to it anyway. Um an arrow enters your mail armor, but it does not damage you. As a group of Atlantean scouts kind of trudge through through the water there. They knee deep water. They come from the opposite side of the river to your guys' side of the river. There is seemingly about 8 figures in the dark that you can see. And that is their turn. Gunnar, we're now back to the top of the round. It's now the party's turn, and they'll go on their turn, respectively.
All right. So I see enemies, and I see them come out of the
Glue
water.
there, yeah. Well, not out of the water, but they come across the river, so out of the water, so to speak. They're not
Okay.
swimming, no.
My spear, is it a throwing spear or just a thrusting spear? We have here listed.
Did you actually get a spear? I thought you had a sword.
I do have a sword. I have a war
Oh,
sword.
oh, you're currently using a spear. Okay. Uh,
Yep, I got an
I, I,
Necky spear.
I'm gonna guess it's probably a thrusting spear. I
All
completely
right, I
forgot
will
that
skip
spear.
the spear and go straight then for the war sword.
Okay. Yeah, these
He got the
guys.
Thearn sword from me.
That's not his war sword though.
Yeah, my war
You never
sword is
took
what
the
came
sword,
with me.
Mike. You never took the sword with you. You just got a spear.
I thought I did because I gave it to him.
No, no.
Okay.
I don't. Nope, I just have a regular old war sword plus 3 damage with 2 hands.
All right. You have a target-rich environment, sir. Go for it. This is gonna get
Yes.
real hairy real quick.
All right, long blade. I have a skill of 8. My physical is a +4, so with my skill modifier, that's another +4. So I have a total of +8 to
Attack.
my sword.
Attaboy. Get him.
So that would be a 14 +8. Uh, uh, Math is hard.
22.
What is 22?
God damn, man. Jesus. That's gonna be a dispatch 3 on him. I hope he doesn't. Well, maybe he dies. We'll see. Roll damage.
Floppy dice.
See, Terry, we got you some clang tonight.
Yes, we did. 6, 7, 8, 9. That was only a 9 points of damage.
Only.
Only 9 points. Okay. This, in particular, Atlantean trooper, gets his shield up in time to block you. But your sword actually will bite through the wooden frame of his shield, cutting his arm open real bad. His that does not look good on his side, I will tell you that much. But he is going to attempt to counterattack on his turn. Thibin, help!
Help.
God damn it, help! First blood to Gunnar.
Right, right.
Because
Clang, clang.
one marksman couldn't find your eye in the dark, probably.
Yeah, right, right. Fuck those guys. All right. Shit. I guess one's going to take a icy bolt of thorns.
Okay.
Because as I am like trying to get up from nearly getting shot,
Right.
can I actually see the one that tried to shoot me, or no?
Not in the glue. You can't. That would be impossible to tell.
Okay. Well,
Honestly, at
yeah.
this point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna spit off a thing of raw magic at the closest body to me.
Uh. All right. Make me a spellcasting
Because
test
none of my
here.
normal spells are really combat unless I try to do thorns. I'm going to do that later.
Okay.
Okay. So, because I know you just did new things for
A
magic casting,
magical
how
attack.
do
Yes.
walk me through this
Uh.
for everybody?
Magical attack and defense is essentially the same as mundane attack and defense. As mundane is attack is physique, mundane defense is cunning. Magical attack is spirit modifier based. Magical defense is occult based modifier. So in this case, if you have a modifier in either of those two things, say like you have a +1 modifier to spirit, you would do 2d8 + 1. And if you don't, I believe if you go through technically the fine print of raw magic, you're gonna have a real hard time actually doing this. It's not impossible, but it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
I don't want to go so far as to say if you don't have a modifier in occult that you can't muster a magical defense, even though that would be really pulpy and thematic. But basically make me a attack roll using your spirit modifier.
Sweet.
As using, I suppose, typical fantasy RPG stats, spirit is your force of will, your wisdom, and your charisma all rolled into one. Whereas occult is your knowledge of magic, reflexes is your dexterity, physique is both your strength and your constitution, and cunning is in some cases your wisdom as well as your intelligence, but mostly intelligence.
That's gonna be 15.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that is you said 15? Oh, nice. If we're mirroring mundane combat, I suppose you probably should get dispatch as well. That would be a +4 to your dispatch. We will have you roll for corruption at the end of combat. You can describe for us how you will that magical attack into existence. Go for it.
Yeah, so like I said, he's arrow went flying by. Missed that one. He sees everything kind of coming after me. He sees Gunnar going after it. He knows he is not, well, he doesn't have the right armament to really be the most capable up front. So he is gonna kind of let them come to him. So as he stands and kind of braces himself, once again, you see that one hand come up and out of the middle, almost a la Scorpion or Sub-Zero type of mindset. You literally just see like this icicle start to form out of his palm. But if you're able to, they won't be able to see in the dark, but if you could look careful enough, it looks like it almost has teeth. And that's just because of the thorns, because he's mixing his plant and his winter. But he will essentially make one of those, probably be about yay long, probably only about that thick. And as soon as that hits, the like optimal time is just, if anyone is watching, you're literally just going to see it come out and almost, you see the frost kind of like almost spiral as it moves, as it sinks into the nearest body that is not Gunnar. Hopefully doing some really bad damage. Speaking of which, I'm only doing 2 spell points because that's the lowest possible I can do. What is the damage on that?
2 spell points is 1d8.
Yeah, because it's, yeah, so it's 2 points for every 1d8 then. Okay.
Right.
That's going to be 11 points going at whoever's on the wrong end of this spike.
Okay, so what is the magical effect that you're trying to go for? Does this impale them? Does this explode on impact? Does it shatter?
No,
Shrapnel?
this
What is this?
this one is basically intended just to impale and just do damage.
Does it glow? What does it do?
No, it does not. However,
Does it give off light?
um,
Okay.
if they go to pull it out, it's not going to feel very good because of the thorns.
Okay.
But no,
So
the primary objective was we're being attacked. I'm going to do as much damage as possible in a shot to wither down the numbers. You might there's also just split second. Oh fuck! Shoot
right.
something.
Roll damage for me.
I did. It was 11.
It was 11 points of damage. Okay. That trooper actually dies. Gunnar, you feel a rush of cold air whiz by you, and one of the troopers that was about to bear down upon you with his sword takes an icy blast to his side, just beneath his right his armpit there, just beneath there, blasting the air from his lungs, impaling him, and then maybe some ice shards explode from him. Not in like a spectacular fashion, but it makes this nice wet smack as it hits him, and he topples back into the muddy slope of the bank. And that was the party's turn. All right, cool. And we're gonna come back with Gunnar. I need you to make another defense test for me.
All right.
Currently, as your man is attempting to run you through with his sword.
So defense would be 2d8 plus
Plus-
evasion.
If you have an evasion modifier, yes, plus your cunning modifier.
Cunning or reflex?
Cunning.
Cunning, yes.
10 plus 5, 15.
15. Oh shit. Well, god damn it. All right, fine. He misses. I'm gonna just let you describe how he misses here for you. Go for it.
So as what do they have for weapons?
It looks like standard issue military, like swords, broadswords. They are wearing mail armor in like almost the fashion of like fish scales, and their helmets have blue and green plumes that almost look like fish fins. Very nautical, very aquatic. Their swords are straight double-edged blades.
So as Gunnar is removing his sword from the broken shield of the first guy he hit, who with a shattered arm and very wounded area, he's trying to wedge his sword out, and at the last second sees another enemy fall upon him. And at the last second is able to dive back, get his sword out of the shield, and use that momentum of being able to dodge out of the way of the blow that was just kind of one of those near misses.
Okay. Uh he as you were wrenching your sword from his shield, he attempted to stab at you, kind of like using that kind of like that transfer of energy. When as you dodge out of the way, he his thrust narrowly misses your guts there, as another arrow attempts to connect with you for a fat 19 on the die. Make me a defense test, my friend.
Me or him?
You.
Damn it.
2d8 cunning plus cunning modifier plus evasion
Okay,
modifier.
that's yep. That's an 8. So we got an 11 so far, and exploding.
Yes.
13 with
Break
a
19, please. God damn it.
13 plus 5.
Off by 1.
Gosh, damn it. Okay. Oh, you got 5 damage coming in. Make me an armor test here. Oh, 1d8. Hang on. You're wearing bronze, right?
Leather halberd.
Leather. Gosh damn it. Fine. A leather hallmark. Yeah, a d8 plus 2. Roll well, please.
That'd be a 4 plus 2, 6.
Okay, cool. An arrow lands in your armor, but does not do any damage to you. As the other troopers, seemingly out of the gloom, emerge on your side of the bank. There's a few. You guys don't have time to be counting heads right now, but Gunnar, you are the next to act. How do you wish to proceed?
Okay.
You have currently 4 in your midst.
Did I see where the arrow came from?
Somewhere across the river.
Oh, like
Somewhere
nearby
over
us.
there. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I think it's time for Gunnar to try something new called the red mist.
Oh yeah. Atta boy. Okay.
Do I have to roll for that? This is new to me.
Oh no. You just say I enter the red mist and you just have your attack.
Here we go.
There you go.
And this lasts for the entire combat scene, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Lasts for the entire combat scene.
Okay, so it's plus 2 to hit and plus 2 for damage.
Yep.
Both or
Yep. That yeah.
nice.
What is your physique currently?
My physique is a whoop.
Isn't it 12? So it goes up to 14 in the red mist.
It is 12. I have a 12 naturally.
Okay.
So that's a plus 4 modifier.
Okay. So your that goes up another modifier, so your attack becomes, instead of a plus 4, it becomes a plus 5. And then you add 4 vitality to your overall pool of vitality, and that obviously at the end of the scene those 4 go away. So what is your full attack then?
All right. So if I'm getting this right, my level modifier for my long blade is a plus 4.
Right.
And so my physical bonus goes from a 4 to a 5. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's 9.
Okay.
So I have a +9 to hit,
Yes.
and then
Sounds like it,
I've
yeah.
got a +8 to damage. Because I'm wielding my war sword two-handedly.
Yes.
right.
So, and if I'm remembering it correctly, is it +2 or +3 for using a two-handed weapon? It's, hang on. I want you to have all the modifier that you possibly can. What the hell? Just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna say +3 for now.
All right, so to hit.
Yep,
I'm
I just
looking
found
at
it.
a-
Fighting with a two-handed weapon +3 damage. Yep, there you got it.
Oh, and that explodes. Okay, so I rolled a 12,
Yep,
an 8 and a 4,
Yep.
plus 6.
okay.
So that right there to hit is 12 plus 6 is 18 plus 9 more
Mike, he's about to
is what,
demolish this guy.
27.
27. And then for damage, it's that explodes. 8 plus.
God
Okay, so
damn.
that's a 14. A 14 plus 8. 22 damage.
22.
Fuck. I told you he was about to demolish this guy. He cannot answer a shadow of that with a 7. That's maximum dispatch. So god damn it.
Leave is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah. You probably opened him up from his jaw to his balls. You can describe that however you wish, sir, but he's dead, and and then some.
Yeah.
He's
So
dead before he hits the mud.
the red mist comes over Gunnar, and it's nothing more than just primal rage. The enemy is in front of him, tries to sense the blow, and puts his arm up as Gunnar just comes from a straight barbaric overhand smash. And as the foe puts his arm up to block, he misses the block. It comes down through his wrist, through the top of his head, and down into midline of his chest as a large, just massive cleave. Doesn't quite split him in half, but is really close.
Okay.
And Gunnar just rips the sword out and looks for the next opponent.
How many grades do you have in Longblade? Not your bonus, but how many skill grades?
My level in Longblade is 8.
Is 8? 8 total? Oh, you can make a second attack if you like at a -1.
I would like that at a -1.
You do that, my friend.
Okay, and once again, I have an 8 and a 5, so we're at a 15
Okay,
with one
the
exploding
8
die.
explodes. God damn it! Watch,
Okay,
Mike.
so that's a straight 16 die roll. Plus we said a 9. 16 plus 9 is what, 25? Help me out here, Mr. Math.
Yeah, you're 25 right now.
25 to hit.
God damn it. This is why we like barbarian characters. He gets a 9 on his defense. That's max dispatch. Roll damage. God damn it.
Unfortunately, this one, the roll was a 1.
Oh, but your minimum damage is amazing anyway.
But my minimum damage is a 9, so it's a 10 points of damage.
That still kills him.
So
You can
Terry
describe
says,
that.
"Fuck those guys."
Yeah, right. You
in
describe it
in
for
in a complete fencing with a longsword type move, as he rips the blade out of the man he cleaved, he happens to see an opportunity of someone coming up next to him and is able to follow through with a stroke and and do enough damage, piercing him that the opponent just takes it straight into the chest, like just completely walks into this wild blow, this wild withdrawal, and sinks it right into his chest.
Yeah, that ends Gunnar's turn. Hey, Thybin. Yeah. Hey, man, can you follow that?
Not really. Uh, I. Uh, Vibin, he's just well, he has his staff in his other hand when he got up, and I guess he's just gonna go up and try to whack the closest guy to him. I'm not gonna have him waste too much energy on the raw magic because that's gonna one sap him too quick, and two, it's gonna make for horrendous consequences at the end of the night. So yeah,
You have a target-rich environment. Roll. Make me an attack roll, man. Yeah, Terry, like we said earlier, clang clang.
right.
A lot of clang clang.
Whole lot of clang clangs. It's a 14 on hit.
Ah, that might be good. That actually connects. God damn, nice.
Oh, nice.
Sure, my new bloodstone dice that I am using for gaming it's coming up all over the damn place. Sometimes it rolls really well, sometimes it does not.
Right.
Roll well when I'm trying to do something sneaky to you guys, like throwing a banshee at you guys. But when I do a random encounter, the Atlanteans, the troopers I can't pay them to hit you guys.
Right. There's a 14 on the hit, by the way. Okay, you said that hit. Never mind. 8 points of damage. My bad.
Gosh damn it. Okay. His you will do a bit of damage in there, but he seemingly is kind of unperturbed because as you strike him, it rings the shit out of his bell, of course, because he's wearing a helmet. But back to the Atlanteans, these goddamn sea people. So, hey, Mike, does a 14 hit you?
Let me do a defense roll and we'll find out here, won't we? 16, so just barely no.
Just goddamn. How about a 7?
No, I got a 15 on that one. I rolled a 7 on one of my dice.
All right. How about a 17?
Ooh, that one might. Yeah, that one's gonna bite through. I got a 13.
That is holy shit, actually. That is oh my. Oh no.
I swear
Stop
to God.
that. I need you to suppress 15 points of damage coming in, please.
Jesus
I need this. I need it.
You better fucking hope I do, because I only got 17 points of health.
Gunnar, help! Come on, Conan.
Right?
Ugh!
Now I can chip away half of it with an 8.
God damn it all. So you come in and you try and bash his head in with your stave, and it makes this bong sound, and he like he like he takes a strike. He takes a step that way. He take a step in the direction, but he very fluidly like pivots like a Greek athlete. He pivots, brings the shield back online, and then like drops and like half crouch, and then thrusts with quite a bit of force that would have ran your ass through. But the his bronze sword only slices through a portion of your copper mail, and where this attack would have disemboweled a lesser man or an unarmored man, it just cut you open and didn't actually run you through, sliced you open, or destroyed some of your rings, the rings of your mail. So it'll take some durability damage. You've got this nice big bleeding hole. Fey blood is gold in color. In the gloom there, you have a stream of golden blood running down we're gonna say your left, and then pooling in kind of like the left pant leg of your leg there. And two other individuals are going to attempt to kill the blood-soaked death machine that is Gunnar the Barbarian, with an 18 on the die coming in, sir.
18. 18. God damn. Evasion. Okay. Ooh, that's a 19.
Ooh.
Okay. And a 22 coming in, sir, for the second attack.
Jesus.
Oh, God. I gotta show you double eights.
Did you honestly fucking crit? God damn it, man.
I gotta turn off like
Ah!
seriously.
Ah!
Camera. I can't bring my camera down. There it is.
I saw him for a second.
All right, I saw it for a bit too.
It's there.
Uh,
It's there.
Since you're in red mist and you got a crit on your defense, I will let you go above and beyond the line of duty and make an immediate counterattack to that poor bastard trying to hack your arm off.
Okay, so
please do make an attack.
So clarification on the rules. So I got a critical success that I put a star next to.
It was on defense, right?
Yeah,
it was on defense. Now that would actually go into your cunning.
Okay. So
your defense stat is cunning. Evasion modifies your defense. Excuse me.
All right. So now doing the counter attack. I put my asterisk next to cunning. So
yes,
to that bonus later.
Like level up. You're
Oh
gonna
my
get.
God.
God
Seriously, I
damn.
love these dice. An
Why,
8 and a 7.
why are you rolling on
Okay, so
fire tonight? Holy shit.
15 plus another 7 is
Conan says,
22.
All right.
22 plus
God
9,
damn. God
31.
damn it, man.
31 as a counter.
Fuck you, Terry. Just fuck you and your dice.
Man,
You want to know his
I
defense
need to
was?
invest. What?
10.
I'm gonna say a fat
Here we
10.
go.
it was a corpulent 10. That is max dispatch there. Fucking
And damage would be a total of 13.
God damn it. It sounds like I'm frustrated. I'm only frustrated that they're not really making a good account of themselves, but you damn inland barbarians are just sticking it to these professional soldiers. Yeah. He dies gruesomely. Describe that for us.
Once again, that the counterattack comes in. Gunnar has multiple opponents on, and in doing a complete melee supernatural move, he's able to dodge and in a second move take a lesser hit on his armor, but able to see an opening on his opponent and move up, and happens to get, rather by luck more than skill, up into a weakened piece of armor right in the joint, and the blade finds home just in that perfect spot where the pieces of armor were weakest, and it goes directly through the lung and pierces the heart.
Attaboy. Well done. With that, technically we are back to the top, and Gunnar gets to take another turn.
Okay. So
yeah, just
if
you have 2 more attacks to make this turn, man.
I've got 2 more attacks, I look over at Thybren, and how many people are how many opponents does he have around him? How many enemies?
Currently 2.
Okay. I'm gonna burst away from where I'm at, and I'm gonna use my 2 attacks on the people that are on him.
Okay.
The enemies
1
that are
attack
on him.
each.
Yep.
Okay.
So that wasn't as good. Plus 4 plus 9 is a 13 to hit.
God damn it. I got an 8. That's I think that's gonna be 1 dispatch then. 1 bonus.
4 plus 13 points of damage.
All right, that's gonna kill him too. You can describe that for us. You unstoppable killing machine, you.
Gunnar ignores the guys around him and bursts forward with a thrust. And as he's running forward, he manages to knock down the first opponent and use his momentum to run him through with the blade. Withdraws quickly and turns to the other opponent that was on Thybren.
All right. And oh shit. Make an attack roll.
4 plus 9. 13.
Oh yeah, he actually. Oh my God, he got the 16 on his defense. Nice. Uh, he actually, you were going to come up with like a rising sweep attack, and he gets his shield in the way, like just in time, and your blade smacks with a resounding bang off of his shield. And we go to Thraban. This is happening directly in front of you.
The one that's still standing, is that the one that hit me, or is that the other one?
Gunnar killed that man already.
Okay, so the one that hit me, he killed. Okay.
Yep.
I am actually going to take a disengaging step back
Yep.
because I am going to call upon one of my winter aspects.
Oh.
And I'm actually going to call upon the cold aspect,
Oh yeah.
basically willing those far off distant winter winds to wrap around me. And I don't know how far this will go or not, but it's basically going to enshroud me in uh, call it a cloak of cold wouldn't be the right word, but it's basically going to give me like an aura of cold. So
Okay.
everything starts to drop in temperature, hopefully kind of fast.
Hopefully kind of fast, but not very fast.
Right. Well,
No,
I
not
mean,
too fast.
yeah. And then for the aspects, do you need me to roll anything for that? Would you like me to roll
That is
anything for that?
that's a spell casting test, equal to what level you're casting it at.
It's the second aspect.
So
So
level 2.
yeah, so it's not a circle magic. It's okay. So level 2. Let me see. And we forgot that was just 2d8 plus occult.
Uh,
That's different from the magical attack and defense, I know.
right. Yes. It's actually level times 2 equals spell difficulty. So so you're casting at level 2, 4. So level 10, 2 times 2 equals 4, obviously. So yeah, make me a spellcasting test and break a 4. Unless you miserably fail.
I would that would have been our luck. I would have rolled snake eyes. Shut your mouth.
Hey
Uh
man.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
a
all right.
14.
All right. Nice.
I'm assuming
I don't think I have that in there properly. Level of spell times 2 equals spell difficulty. I thought there was a third aspect in there. I'm gonna have the spell go off anyway, but I feel like I'm missing something in there
well,
in
I
my
think we
editing.
did that because the lower ones would be easier, but once we get up to like 8, 9, 10, that's gonna be a difficulty of up to 20. So it
Okay.
gets up there.
Yeah. Okay. So what's that spell going to do? What are you trying to do with the spell?
So like I said,
Mystic
it's literally
aspects are really up to the mystic in
yeah. So
particular.
like I said, it's literally just gonna wrap me essentially in a shroud of cold. Um, so and I don't know how quick the temperature drop is. I'm assuming that's gonna be more up to you than to me. Um, but yeah, basically just want to drop the temp. That way it makes them harder to do anything around me. Um,
That's actually up to you, man. This is one of your mystic aspects. No, this is you are narrating your spell. You tell us what it does.
okay. Then I'm dropping the temperature
Okay.
enough that it makes them difficult to move. Whatever is around me.
So you're casting it at second level, so we're just gonna say they have a -2 penalty when near you.
Yeah.
Okay. We will go with that then. Okay, cool. Is that your turn then?
I'm assuming that's my entire turn since I probably can't go back up and smack somebody after that.
No, that's your, if you're casting a spell, that's your action.
And yes,
Uh,
that's my action.
This trooper is going to attempt to come after Gunnar because he's a hell of a threat. With a
Bring it.
19. Oh, this might suck. Might be awesome,
Might.
but I also suck.
Okay, 13 will not do it.
Oh no. Make me an armor test.
This guy.
D8 plus 3.
Okay, so with my greaves, does that count towards my armor bonus?
You know, it really should. Yeah. It'll be D8 plus 4 for you then. Same as wearing a breastplate, but yeah.
Yeah. So I got a 10.
You got to. Oh, nice. You take 4 points of damage.
All right.
Nice. Oh. So Terry, how the armor test works is a D8. Okay. Damage is always on a D8 and it can explode. Okay, a D8 plus your physique. In response to that, an armor test is whatever your total like damage suppress is from your armor is plus a D8. So it will be variable just like damage is variable. So if like this turn just went he did 14 points of damage to you and you were able to suppress up to 10, you actually take the difference between the two numbers. So your armor test potentially can blow out any damage coming in, and that's where I say, well, describe for us how that happens, because you're a fighter, you're constantly moving in the fight. You don't have a static armor class. Your armor is always moving on you as the fight is developing. So your armor could not be there when you absolutely positively need it, or it could be there perfectly when the strike hits. And that's when
Got it.
you take the difference between the two.
Okay.
So you have 4 damage coming in. How do you respond?
Once again, he's keeping an eye on multiple. How many enemies do we have left?
You guys don't have time to be counting heads. It is dark out and there's a lot of moving going around.
Okay. So, and that's the thing, is that he's constantly moving. He doesn't want anyone to get up behind him. And then he's also trying to be aware of some type of sniper coming from across the river and trying to do what he can to move out of that direction as well. And as he's dealing with these multiple entities, he happens to like lose concentration to one of the guys who's closest to him, tries to dodge out of the way at the last second, but it does happen to cleave him in the back shoulder, which 4 points of damage. And
yep.
Question on the red mist. I've got a vitality of 4. Do I deal with that at the end, or is that subtracted off of the damage?
You had, well, that's temporary vitality for the scene, and you just took 4, so yeah, you essentially haven't taken any real damage for the combat scene.
So he takes the hit, but all he does is looks over at the guy who hit him and like locks eyes. Shrugs
Uh,
off, basically just shrugs off the 4 points of damage and is
right.
like,
I'm gonna punch you in the back of the head next. uh and we're back up to Gunnar, technically.
yes, we are.
Get, get him. God damn, man.
Okay. Not crit, but double sevens. So
Uh,
14
uh. If it was a
plus
sling, it still would have counted as a crit.
correct.
Yeah, right.
14 plus 9 is what? 23.
God damn it. Play nicely, will you? Play nicely. Don't kill the party, but play nicely. 8. A fat 8 on the defense. Just fucking roll damage on like max dispatch, man. Come on now.
That'd be 11.
Yeah, hell damn it. Yeah, you can describe for us how you demolish this guy too. Yeah, no, that's pretty gruesome.
So the opponent takes a slice off of him. Gunnar stops, looks, makes eye contact with him, and the opponent stops for a second and realizes that, oh,
It was at this point that he knew
this
that he fucked
didn't
up.
even phase him. Gunnar does a ripping swing upwards and connects him from groin to chin, not on a deep cut, but enough to basically splay him open. And then he turns to the next opponent because that was only his first attack.
Of which
Do I
there
have
are
some?
seemingly no other combatants in your guys' midst. Your side of the bank is littered with bodies. Gunnar is covered in blood. Thraban is and now he's coming down off of the adrenaline high of casting magic.
And before I lose my strength, my last thought is get away from the bank because there's still archers on the other side.
Right.
So for my quote unquote second attack, I'm gonna go over, grab Thraban, and lunge towards the towards the opposite side of the river, towards up away from the bank of the river before the red mist dissipates.
Nice. Okay. Well, at that point, hey Mike, I need you to make me a corruption test for your use of raw magic. And that's gonna be a 20, my friend.
Is that the same as a life force test?
This is a little bit different. Raw magic is always a 20.
Right, I'm just saying though, like what I have to roll for it is a same as a life force test, the D8 plus level.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. Play nicely, goddamn you.
That's an 8 and then an 8 and I'm level 4, so that's a 20.
Wow.
I was like, dear God, I have to explode both times to make this work.
Jesus. All right.
Oh, I should have
Alright.
videotaped that. Oh, I should have fucking videotaped that.
Oh my god. All right.
Shit. Oh fuck.
You can push the darkness back for this time.
For now.
For now. As raw magic is not something to be trifled with. And here, in the closing moments of the evening, as the riverbank on the edge of the mangrove, the marshes, excuse me, the mangrove swamp near the coast. The closer and closer you guys get to the sea, the more frequent will be the patrols of the Atlanteans. We, as we're coming out of the red mist and coming down off of the adrenaline high, we see uh, a young woman standing in the river, uh, up to her knees, and as before, she is naked. Uh, Very pretty, but her eyes are crazy, and then some, with her long dark hair matted to her face. And we will go for closing soliloquies for the evening, and hopefully next session we will survive a second encounter with a Banshee. Gunnar, closing soliloquies, sir, as you're coming down off the adrenaline high. Take it away.
Gunnar coming out of the red mist is much like a drunk who sees the bed at the end of a night of debauchery. So all he can think of is sleep and rest and the exhilaration of defeating enemies and wearing the gore of of their bodies, and also protecting his friend and companion, um, pulling him back towards the camp and the horses, getting him out of the protection of the or getting him into the protection of the camp, away from the line sight of the archers and the snipers from across the river. But the only thing that comes out over him is the sheer physical exhaustion of that massive adrenaline rush, that massive euphoria of the kills, plural, and then succumbing to the exhaustion, falling to his knees with his sword stuck into the ground, supporting the weight of him, not completely wiping out onto the ground, but needing that sword support on his knees and panting.
Kerban, the sorcerer, who just had his first blood with raw magic in his third lifetime. Take it away.
Fucking right. That was I mean, he probably kind of feels how Gernard does with the mist. That was an exhilaration beyond anything he's ever felt before. I mean, and it was his first time doing it too, or at least in practice. He's heard about it. But yeah, he lets that wow, I can't fucking find words right now. As the adrenaline calms down, and Gunnar basically bodily picks him up and away from the coastline. Um, he'd see the Banshee out there again. And honestly, one of the only thoughts in his mind is, first he's thinking, where the hell were you a couple minutes ago? We could use you protecting the river. But then he's kind of thinking, like, back of his head, left side of the brain being logical, like, they stopped firing arrows at us. I wonder how much work she just fucking put in. So his brain kind of tumbles over that, tumbling over, coming down from both the raw magic high, and he felt that darkness again. It's not his first time feeling that shit. Granted, for different reasons. It's not his first time feeling that shit. So he felt that creeping on. He's like, I don't know if I want to do that again for a while now. That was, yeah. I've had to come back once from that thing. I don't want to do that again. And then after all of that, then the wound he took finally kicks in. He's like, fuck, I'm bleeding. Like almost cartoon character comical sense. Like, where the fuck that come from? Oh yeah, I got stabbed. And so when Gennard kind of puts him down there, he's not catatonic, but he's not responsive at the moment. His brain's coming down from like 3 different exhilarations, and he just needs to take a moment to compose himself. In that brief moment of clarity he does have, though, he's like, I hope she's willing to talk now. I really hope she's willing to talk now.
And with that, the stage curtains will then close. And we will be back next week for session 4. Good night, everyone.